Alright, so I'm back, and today we're going to take a look at the Combiner Wars Deluxe Class breakdown. So here's this packaging. Whoa. It's nothing spectacular. There's this bio if you want to pause and read it. Comes with a comic book that I probably won't read. Why I won't read it is because apparently these take place in the past, and I've been kind of keeping up with the present, so this is just gonna confuse me, I think. So, I don't know. I'll probably read it. Who am I kidding? I'll read all comic books that I get. But, yeah. So I'm not familiar with it, as I said. Someone did tell me that it's takes place in the past. And, yeah. One of these days I'll just start getting the trade paperbacks and read them from the beginning. But for now, yeah. Great artwork. That's really all I can say. And then there's this. So, yeah. I have issues with this figure. Taking a quick look at the figure, he does come with this thing, the foot hand doohickey. The aerial bots, they all looked like, almost like missile launchers and guns. This one kind of more looks like a engine block, which is kind of cool, I guess. But at the same time, handy, I guess, because you can take it and plug it in his hand, and now he's got that. Yeah, if the peg was on the other side, it was looking like that, then I'd be like, all right, that's kind of interesting. So, well, like the G2, some of the G2 cars had something like that, but he can't hold it like that, so he holds it with fingers facing up. And that's not as interesting. Guess you can plug it in back there. It looks okay, I guess. You can drop it. That's cool too. I guess you can plug it in kind of downwards. Maybe like a booster pack. Again, it's just, I wish the peg was on the other side, even though that would interfere with the hands and the feet, but it's kind of ugly. But I guess they all kind of suffer from that. At least some of them, it looked more like it was a gun. No, I'm looking at drag strips, but he's got the peg shoulder on the shoulder, so you can kind of double it as a shield. He doesn't have those, so he... Anyway. So he also comes with this sword gun thing. And this one actually is pretty cool. I like this. I really do. I really, really do, actually. I kind of want to get another drag strip just for this. Or breakdown just for him. So here's the sword mode. And then you take it off. And plug it in this way. And it's like a Space Marine chain gun type thing going on. Which is pretty cool. I dig that. And that's about the end of what I like about this figure. He looks okay. The head sculpt is great. Great paint detail on there. That looks nice. It is a little flat for my taste, but it does resemble the G1 toy. He's got a ball jointed shoulder. They are kind of back set a little bit. This should be a little bit forward here. They shouldn't be back like that. And it does throw the proportions off a little bit. But he's got a ball jointed shoulder. Because of this and the back piece here, it kind of gets caught up a little bit. double bend elbow with a ball joint here. So decent range of motion there. Nothing at the hands. Waist swivels a little bit, but due to the assembly of the legs, you ain't gonna get very far unless you undo the legs, which is just, they're on these slider swivels here, so that you can slide it around, and you can do weird things with them. You can't quite get them straight across from each other, and it's a loose joint, so it's looser than the ball joint that is attached to it. So when you try and move the legs, you're going to move that thing before you're going to move the legs. Or at least on mine. I don't know if it's everybody's, but either way, it's still just as annoying. And it just, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's like, why would you put it on there? Nobody else has something like this. This is just weird. So the ball jointed hips, thigh swivel, and then there's that ugliness there. It's his legs are weird proportions. It's like his shins go on forever, and then his thighs are like dinky tiny, just really, really tiny in comparison. And I don't like it. He's got really big hollow legs here. And yes, I know what you're going to say. Combined Wars, all their figures are hollow. But all the other ones, I mean, it's like, okay, Drag Strip's legs collapse in. They're just collapsed straight down. But they are solid. I mean, they're hollow, but they're one piece. They're not two pieces. Here's Fireflight. His legs break apart to fold up, and yes, that's all hollow, and you can tell it's hollow. But from the side, it's not that bad looking. Pretty much all the aerial bots are like that. It's like, yeah, they're a little hollow, like here, and it's not that bad looking, but it's not that. They've designed the other ones to work with that, but this just is bad. Foot swivels a little bit, and the heel spur swivels a little bit, and that's what you get. You get the bend at the elbow or at the knee, but like I said, I mean, it's so ugly in there. Basically, the way I want to keep him posed if he's standing is like this, so you don't see that. But then you have to have the legs kind of wonky. So yeah. All in all, not very impressed with the robot mode. So let's go ahead and get him into car mode. So you want to take these pieces here, and you pull this down, like so. Do the same thing over here. That will free up the chest piece to come up, like so. And then you want to get this in here, and what you want to do is these two tabs here and here will plug in here and here. So you just kind of have to get that lined up and tabbed in, like so. Then this will come down and snap into place. And then you can take this piece here, this will fold down and snap into place. You fold up the forearms like so. Like so. Fold up the foot, fold up the foot, fold this up a little bit. And then you take the leg and it double hinges out and then back in. I mean, seriously, they could have just made this collapse or have it kind of butterfly open, I guess, like the aerial bots. And either one of those would have been a better option than what they went with. I know they're trying to keep all the transformations fresh, but seriously, if it's working, why change it? So we line all this stuff up and little tabs into place. It gets a little finicky. There we go. And there you go. Mine doesn't peg in quite well in the back here, but it's not terrible, I guess. Yeah, it is. What am I talking about? That was pretty bad. It rolls pretty good. I have a very smooth surface, so unless you have rubber tires, it's not gonna work very well. And then he's only got one porthole on the top here, so if you want to plug this in, it's got to go here. There's no other place to put it. But that means now we can't have a place for this unless you want to plug it in like there. So unfortunately, it's only got the one plug hole. Like I said, I mean, you can't do both, one or the other. And quite frankly, I'd probably go this route if I was going to go any route. But yeah, I like the car mode. It looks nice. They are probably most likely going to be retooling this one into Sideswipe. And that's going to be unfortunate because I was looking forward to a new Sideswipe. And if this is what we're going to get with it, I don't think that's going to be very awesome. Unless I redo the legs entirely. And the arms. And the transformation. Probably the head. And the chest. So yeah, if they use the core body, just not the arms, the legs, the chest, or the head, I think it might work pretty well. Alright, anyway. So back to transformation. To turn back into robot mode. Just unfold the legs. Flip down the feet. Heel spurs. Flip this down. Flip this piece back. This will just come back here. Like so. You want to take the arms out a little bit, but not all the way. Because this helps lock the chest piece. This is a cool transformation. I do really like this. I think this is well thought out, and it's probably one of the better designed figures because of this right here. The rest of it is trash, but this here is really cool. Actually, I really like it. Let me fold this up, and there you go. But yeah, I really like this transformation. I mean, it's hiding the combiner port for the most part. You see it just the tiniest bit down at the bottom, but because of the way it's set in there, it doesn't look bad at all. I mean, here he is with let's grab one of the aerial bots here. Here he is with Alpha Bravo, and it's like you could see that combiner port from a mile away, and it's like I could overlook that. Because the figure itself was pretty good. But this one, it's like, wow, that's actually pretty impressive. Because you don't have that combiner kibble just flopping around in the middle. It looks pretty good. That, and the head, the back kibble folds up pretty nicely. I mean, it could have been done a little bit better. Maybe, like, if this wasn't like this. But it's enough to make me go, the chest is... The whole body is pretty good here. The arms, like I said, I mean, they look good. They feel a little thin, but they're set back, and it's like I can almost forgive it because the chest body is so good, but the legs are so bad. It's like you swivel the legs and it comes unhooked, and then now you got this thing going on. I don't like the legs at all. It's pretty atrocious, actually. But he's a decent figure. Let's get some scale comparisons going. Set him back here. And so from now on, for my scale comparisons, like we talked about last week, I'm going to Legends. So there he is next to a Legends figure, one of the current Legends. And this, I think this scale works perfectly. He should be bigger than the Legends. Here he is with the Seeker mold, who is about the same size. And so that, again, works really well. I mean, we're never going to get everything scaled perfectly, but I think this works pretty well. I like having my Seekers about the same size as all the Troopers. So this works pretty good. I like this. And then we'll do a Voyager with Optimus Prime, and that looks great. Again, I think this is just about perfect. And I did retire the Masterpiece Prowl mold because I don't have any Masterpiece figures anymore. So, and I'm not planning on buying any, so there's nothing to scale them with, really. And I also retired the Brainstorm. And here he is with the Leader Class Jetfire. And I do think that this is in scale. I think this scales perfectly with him. This is exactly where I think Decepticon Trooper, like him, would be. So yeah. So scale is not an issue on this guy. And honestly, I'm gonna give him a 3 out of 10. Like I said, the design's good. And this transformation bit right here, actually, you know what, I'm going to bump it up to 4 because this transformation bit right here is actually really good for a figure of this size. I really like that. But the rest of it is garbage. I don't like those legs. I mean, usually I can overlook almost all the hollowness, but this is just so intrusive. I just don't like it. So get these guys out of the way, and we'll get the other teammates that we've already looked at up here. So here he is with Dragstrip. And they are just about perfect height for one another. And Motormaster. Who I think is about the right scale for his being a commander of the Stunticons. I think that works pretty well. I like this scale. I really do. I think this scale works perfectly. I do have an issue with the fact that Optimus is shorter than him, but I mean, unless you get your Optimus super big, you're not going to be happy here. And then other things start falling apart. So this is, I'll forgive this one just because I don't want my whole scale system to fall apart. So yeah, I think he works well scale wise with the rest of them. And and yes, I'm going back to my whole. We're saving the combined mode transformation for when we go to combined mode. So definitely, easily the weakest of this line of the Stunticons. Easily the weakest. If you're just buying them because they're cool figures, this is probably going to be a pass for you. I don't think he stands alone very well. He's not the cheese. If you get that reference, hopefully. Anyway, if you're getting it just for the set, then obviously you got to get it, and at least it's not a third-party figure where you're like, that's like my entire toy budget for the month, to buy this one figure, and it's mediocre. At least he's $15. So. If you buy him for the set, at least it's not that bad of a purchase. But there you go. That's what I think about this figure. I'm not impressed with him. So there you go.